Ready to go. Okay, so if y'all ready to go, give me some thumbs up. Let me know you ready to jump into this topic, because it's burning in my belly. Like, I just need to get it out. Okay, it is burning in my heart, because I really believe this is going to help somebody. This is going to help somebody today. Okay, people are ready. Love it. Let's do it. Okay, so here's the thing. This topic of authority and this topic of initiative has always been something that has plagued leaders, okay? Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, hear me? Let me know that you guys can hear me clear, okay? Somebody said I'm breaking up. Y'all good? Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, so this topic of leadership, this topic of initiative, this topic of authority has always plagued leaders, right? Because what happens is we get into a place of leadership, right? And we expect people to follow us the way we are leaders. So if we're go-getters, we want people to be go-getters. If we are taking initiative, we want people to be taking initiative, okay? And so I hear this complaint so much among leaders, right? The complaint about people not taking initiatives, okay? Not stepping up. They're waiting for the leader to tell them what to do. They're waiting for me to do everything. You know, they don't step up. They don't take initiative. And this is something that I've heard over and over and over. I cannot tell you all of the leaders I sat with that have this same complaint. But here's the thing. You can't control everything and expect people to take initiative. And so I want us to explore this idea of authority before we can even dive into or how it relates to initiative. Because you have to understand there is a connection between authority and permission, right? There's a connection between authority and permission. Authority in its essence is permission to act without permission. You guys got that? So authority in its essence is permission to act without permission. But the more you control, the less initiative, acting without permission, others will take, right? So the only way to take initiative is to have authority. Y'all with me? The only way to take initiative is to have authority. But the more you control, the less people will take initiative. It's a direct connection. And I think that sometimes we see ourselves as leaders in this place of authority, and we don't understand why people are not taking initiative, is because we have not shared authority. We have not shared authority. Remember, authority in its essence is permission to act without permission. And so many times we want people to take initiative, which is acting without permission. You know, whatever comes to them, they just kind of move on it instead of waiting for someone to tell them what to do. But we don't realize that the reason why people are not taking initiative is because we hoard authority. We're hoarders of authority. There's so many of us that are on this live that are going to be listening to this later. You're control freaks, right? And we don't like to admit that, but that's exactly what it is. We're control freaks. Control freaks never inspire initiative. You heard me? Control freaks never inspire initiative. Nothing about you doing everything inspires people to help you. And sometimes we feel like they don't love us. They're ungrateful. They have entitlement issues. They just expect me to do everything. These are the kind of narratives we create in our mind. But the reality is that you're ineffective because you're hoarding the authority. Ineffective leaders seize and hoard authority. Successful leaders give it away. Those who cling to authority lose it, but those who give authority gain it. Inspire initiative by giving authority. I know that sounds crazy, right? How can I inspire initiative? How can I make people take action? How can I make people or cause people to move without having to ask me for permission? You have to start by giving away authority. You have to start by giving away authority. Now, for some of you, right now, I just said something that's making you real nervous, right? I just said something that's making you real nervous. Something about this conversation is making you uncomfortable. You don't like the idea of giving away authority. And those of you who are uncomfortable with the idea or the thought of giving people authority are most likely control freaks. And you have a misunderstanding of the purpose of authority. right? You have a misunderstanding of the purpose of authority. And so sometimes we keep looking at people saying, what's wrong with you, right? What's wrong with you? When you really should be saying, what's wrong with me? Okay, as leaders, we got to ask that question, what's wrong with me? Why? Because Jesus already gave us the model, okay? Now, here's the principle based on biblical foundation. Jesus gave us the model. Remember in Matthew chapter 10, where he gave them power. When you look up that word power, it translates to two words, exousia and dunamis, which talks about a delegated authority is one of them, and the other one is a dynamite or an explosive power. And so what happens is we don't realize that Christ gave us the model. Jesus gave away authority, yet he remained the authority. He was not afraid to empower the people that served with him in the assignment. He said in Acts 1:8, he says, but I will give you power. After that, the Holy Ghost has come upon you. He gave away authority. Yet he remained the authority. It sounds crazy, but this is how it works. Releasing others to act apart from your direct guidance motivates them to seek your guidance. How many of us, and this is true, because how many of us today as believers, even though we have free will, we still consult the Father. We have free will. We can do whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it, but we still come to him and say, Lord, your will, not mine. Give me what to say. Show me what to do, which way to go. I acknowledge you in all of my ways that you would direct my path. Yet he has given us authority. And so Jesus gave away authority, yet he remained the authority. Sometimes we equate authority with identity. Sometimes we equate authority with positions, and we feel like if we give it away, we're losing something. No, my friend, no. As leaders, you have to learn how to give away authority. Sometimes we are great at delegating tasks, but we don't give people authority to execute it. You got to be careful of that, because then you wonder why they don't move on the task you gave them, because they feel like they don't have permission to go forth and do it. You have to realize that Jesus gave us the model. Even I believe it's in Matthew 18. Do you remember that story where the 2 fish and 5 loaves, like the little boy's lunch? Do you remember that story? I love that story because it's one of my most amazing principles that I see where Jesus exercised empowerment. So here it is. The disciples are there. Come on, y'all, follow with me. The disciples are there, and they're talking to Jesus, and Jesus teaching the people. Then they come to them and say, hey, send the people away because they don't have nothing to eat. Jesus said to them, you give them to eat. Now, Jesus knew they probably wasn't packing no more lunches than 12 people that need to eat. They didn't carry like loads and loads of food. He knew they didn't come in with a supply truck. But what was he doing? He was giving them space to exercise the authority that he had given them. And he had already given them hands-on training for that assignment because they seen him multiply food before. He was saying, look, you seen me operate in authority. Now you operate in authority. Give them to eat. Use what you have. Use the training I gave you. Use what you've seen me do and exercise your authority. He was saying, you don't need my permission. You have authority. So when we start looking at why people don't take initiative, most times it's connected to the fact that they don't feel like they have authority. And we're so afraid to give away authority. But the realization is this: the authority you share, the less permission you have to give. The more authority you share, the less permission you have to give. Now, here's a disclaimer. Giving authority isn't an excuse for you to not do your job. You're not giving authority so you can dump your workload. No. That's not what we're talking about today. All right. We're looking at the model that Christ laid out for us because we want to start seeing people take initiatives. You know what causes people to win is when the team wins. If the more that the team can do, the more the vision can be accomplished, the more you can get done. The quote I always tell my team is no one of us is as strong or as smart as all of us together. And so the more you're giving away authority, the more you're increasing authority. Releasing others to act apart from direct guidance motivates them to seek your guidance. Y'all got that? Now, I know I said a lot so far, but I want you to really follow me in this idea of initiative. And we're talking about the dirty truth behind authority, because too many of us have become control freaks. We do everything, but we expect people to do stuff. We do it, but we expect people, and we're constantly delegating without giving people authority. We give people tasks, but we don't give them authority. And authority, in its essence, is permission to act without permission. Now, there's a how to do all of this, right? There's a how to do all of this, and I'll talk to you about the how. You book a strategy session with me, and I will teach you. I will walk you through how to begin to release authority, how to begin to release the potential that lies in your team, so that your productivity of your ministry or your organization or your business will go up. There's a direct connection between initiative and productivity. There's a direct connection between authority and initiative. And sometimes we're not seeing the fruit that we want to see. We're not seeing the results that we know we should be seeing at this point in our lives, in our ministry, in our business, in our churches. It's because there is no release of authority. There is no empowerment for people to take initiative, and therefore the productivity does not go up. Okay, and so let's talk about the why. Let's talk about the why. So we talked about the what. Let's talk about the why. Y'all ready? All right, let me see some likes, some hearts. If y'all getting something out of this, let me know. All right, let me know how you doing with this. Good. Let's see some likes, some hearts. Y'all ready to transition from the what to the why? Because there's so much I could say about why this is happening, and I want to shine some light on the why. I want to take some time to shine some light on the why, and I really hope this is blessing you, because it really blessed me, because I'm tired of you guys being frustrated about why people are not taking initiative. I don't want you to be frustrated in 2018. I don't want you to be frustrated. I don't want you to say, oh, they just sit around waiting for me to do everything. They sit around, they just want me. I want to help you relieve that frustration. I want to lift that off of you. But you have to apply these principles so you can see the results that these principles promise, okay? So let's go into the why. Let's talk about the why. This is always important, because there's always a why behind the what. So let's talk about the why. Let's dive into the why, okay? So here we are with the why. Number one. Why is this happening? Why don't people take authority? Okay, here it is. Think about your own self. We have been raised in a culture of asking permission, right? Let's think about this. We've been asking for permission our whole life. Everything we do, we've been asking for permission. Y'all with me? Think about it, okay? When we were kids in school, you couldn't just get up out your seat and go to the bathroom. You had to do what? You had to raise your hand, wait to be called on, and you had to ask for permission. You raise your hand. I remember I had one teacher, oh my God, Miss Rosen, 3rd grade. It was like I was invisible. My hand would be up so long. I'm waiting to be called on. I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom, but she don't see me. And you feel like I should just get up and go. Why should I have to get permission? No, we are raised in a culture that taught us how to ask for permission. So even when we was in school, when you wanted that treat from your mom or your dad, you wanted that cookie, you said, Mom, can I have? Can I have? And what happened when you touched something or you did something that you wasn't supposed to do? Right? What happened? Have you ever had that experience where you stepped out of your lane into somebody else's? You started to do something that no one asked you to do. You get popped on your hand. You know, you get that little pow to keep you in check, to remind you, don't do nothing unless you ask for permission. So again, that pain that you felt when you got reprimanded, it reminds you, I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to do what I'm told to do. I ain't going to try to do nothing else. I'm just going to do what they tell me to do. If they don't ask me, I ain't doing it. And we hear this language. I hear from ministry workers all the time. If they don't ask me, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting involved. They didn't ask me to come. They didn't ask me to do it. We say these kind of things because what? Embarrassment from overstepping keeps you in your place. Embarrassment from overstepping. When you get checked for you trying to take initiative, you trying to step out and help, and then it goes bad, or someone feels offended, or someone has to reprimand you, it reminds you, oops, I'm not going to do that again. And so part of the reason why people don't take initiative is because they stepped up, but then they got slapped down. They stepped up, but then they got slapped down. The problem with stepping up is being slapped down. People will step up if they don't have the fear of being slapped down. The moment you slap them down is the last time they will step up. Y'all heard that? The moment you slap them down is the last time they're going to step up. And so we're talking about this topic of people taking initiative. Your response to those who act without permission establish your organizational culture. So if someone steps up and they take initiative and they act without your permission, come on, we got to talk about this authority thing. So you release authority, you didn't give them authority, but they're taking initiative, right? And they act and they take a step, and then you reprimand them for that step. You're creating a culture. Other people will see it. Others will hear about it and say, you know what? That's why I don't do nothing unless they ask me. That's exactly why I don't get involved. That's exactly why I don't. And you start to, you suffocate the culture of initiative. You're suffocating the growth that you want to see because you're not releasing authority. And when somebody takes initiative, you're not handling it well. You're not handling that situation well. Your response to those who act without permission establishes an organizational culture. Let that sit right there. How you respond to people who take initiative establishes the culture. What you reward gets repeated. Right? What you reward gets repeated. If you slap down the people who step up, don't expect them to do it again. The moment you slap them down is the last time they will step up. Number two, here's another reason why, okay? So one, we talked about how it's a part of culture. You know, you're raised to ask for permission. Again, that's why giving authority is so important. It's so vital, okay? Because people are waiting to be able to act without permission, and they need that authority so that they can do so. Okay, the second reason why people are not taking initiative, right? Remember, we said that authority in its essence is acting without permission, right? That's what we said authority was. Okay, authority in its essence is permission to act without permission. And we said that in order for people to take initiative, they need authority. They need to know that they can act, they have permission to act without permission. Now there's a how, right? There's a how. And I can give you that how. I'll meet with you one-on-one to talk about that how, because it's important. You can't just hear the what and the why and say, I'm going to implement it. No. You need strategy for implementation, or you're about to make a mess, all right? And I don't want you to do that. Okay, so here's a second reason why. Now this might hurt your feelings. This might hurt your feelings, but I got to tell y'all the truth. If y'all want the dirty truth about this, I want you guys that just in the comment section, tell me the truth. And comment right now, just ask me, because I feel a little uncomfortable about what I'm about to say, because it might make you upset. But if you want to hear the truth, I want you to comment down below and say, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth, because I want to give you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. All right, who's ready for the truth? Let me see who's ready for the truth. Good. Excellent. I see some people are ready for the truth. All right, good. I'm ready to tell you the truth. Now this is something. And I don't want you to, you take this in love, and remember that sometimes in order to get to your solution, you got to face the problem. In order to get to your solution, you have to face the problem. Okay? So here's the second reason why people are not taking initiative. Look within yourself when people keep waiting for permission, because leadership is the issue. You're failing as a leader if people sit around waiting for you to tell them what to do. You are failing as a leader if people sit around waiting for you to tell them what to do. When people keep asking you for permission, you're the one with the issue, not them. Oh, I know that doesn't. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, because we want to point our finger at the team. We want to point our finger at those that work with us. Well, if they would just step up, and if they, you got to look within. When people keep waiting for permission, leadership is the issue. Leadership is the issue. All right, so we got two reasons. Number one, it's about culture. We were raised to ask for permission is what we do. And then sub to that is this, that your response to those who act without permission establishes the culture. Either you slap them down and they will never step up, or you can celebrate them and see it repeated. Number two, we talked about your failure as a leader. You're failing as a leader if people sit around waiting for you to tell them what to do, okay? Leadership is the issue, okay? It's how you are leading. It's how you are leading that is causing people to sit around and wait for permission, okay? Thank you, Dorian. You can cash at me now. Come on. So I think that this is something that we need to discover. Now, this is the third reason, and I'm done, and we're going to wrap it up from right here. Number three, the third reason why you don't see initiative taken in your ministry, in your church, in your business, your organization, is because you are afraid to let failure happen. You are afraid to let failure happen. Here's the thing. Giving initiative, giving authority, and allowing initiative to come forth, there might not always be a perfect outcome. Okay, but you got to let them hurt. You got to let them learn, because they don't own it until they own the failure too. When people own the failure of what they took initiative on, then that's when they begin to own the assignment. Okay, I often had this kind of paradigm or mantra that works in the back of my thinking and my thought pattern is, you don't own anything until you bleed for it, until you sweat for it, until it hurts you, it ain't yours yet. And sometimes that act of failure, that process of failure, allows people to invest more into it because they don't want to experience that again. And then it also provides them a learning opportunity. But we just don't want to look bad, so we don't allow for failure. We don't allow people to work out their initiative. We don't let them explore their authority because we're too concerned that it's going to fail. Okay, so those are my thoughts. Now, there's a whole bunch of hows. Now, there are principles to giving permission. You don't just give permission. There are boundaries. There has to be clarity. There are 6 ways to give permission. Now, I got all of this stuff ready for you. But I just know that I gave you today the what, and I gave you the why. But I want to meet with you one-on-one to talk about the how. So if you're ready to say, you know what? I'm frustrated because people are not taking initiative. They're sitting around waiting for me to do everything or to tell them what to do. Then you need to have a one-on-one session with me so I can walk you through the how to get your people to start taking initiative. Okay, you want to engage people if you expect them to be engaged. And there is a process for that. There is a process for that. And so I want to sit down with you because I don't want you to be a part of the problem anymore. I want you to be a part of the solution and help shift the culture of your organization or your business or your ministry so that you can begin to see the results that you want to see. Jesus gave away authority, and the result is the Church of God is still here today. The Church of the Living God is still active today. It is still empowering today. It is still effective today. Okay, and he gave away authority, yet he did not lose. He gained authority, right? God sent his one son, so he now has many sons. There was an increase that comes when you give, when you give, when you give, when you give. It's a principle. It works. It cannot be denied. It is timeless, and it works in leadership as well. And I want to see you guys really begin to win at this thing called leadership. So I want you guys to go to CoachRamsey.com, all right? Book your session so we could talk about the how. Because if you just try to step out there now and just do this on your own, you can make a mess, because giving authority is not as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's a process to it. There's a process to it, okay? And I want to make sure that you guys are in the right space implement that process, and that you've thought about everything, you've considered all of the options, and you're ready to move forward with going from authority to initiative and going from initiative to peak performance, okay? Because it's really all connected, and I believe that 2018, if it's going to be your year of acceleration, if it's going to be your year of greater impact, it's going to be your year where you go from better to bigger, then you're going to have to begin to implement this, because you can't do this on your own. Ministry's growing too large for it to just be a one-man show. What you are invested in, you now have to invest into others so that they can begin to grow. One thing that I love about leadership is your leadership is best seen in the growth of others, right? Your leadership is best seen, or the beauty of your leadership, the effectiveness of your leadership is best seen when others around you begin to grow. So imagine if you can shift your team from the do-nothings to the go-get-its, okay? They do nothing now, but they're going to go get it later, okay? If you can shift your team from do-nothings to go and get it, that go-get-it culture, that initiative-taking culture, then you have set yourself up on a incline trajectory where you're going to go up higher and higher and higher. And I want to help you get there. I love you guys. There so much that I wanted to say about how to get this started, how to get the ball rolling. I want to meet with you. Go to CoachRamsey.com. Book your coaching call or your strategy session. Some of you already know you need a little bit more than that, but we can start there and start building. Why? Because out of all of the leaders that I meet with every single day, I talk to leaders. I'm inbox. They call me. They text me. We have conversation. All leadership problems are the same. They're across the board. They're across the board. It's universal. It's the language. Leading people is not the easiest job in the world, but it is a job that we are assigned to and we are empowered for if we get the necessary tools, training, and community that we need in order to be great. So I want to see you guys be great in 2018. If you got something out of today, make sure that you like this, you share it, you invite somebody. If you have any questions, I'll leave a few seconds right now for you to ask those questions. Any questions, I'll take them. I know some of you might have some questions about initiative, how to get people to take initiative, or what happens when you give authority. If you have any questions, I'll take those questions and I'll try to answer them the best possible. Like I said last Tuesday, you know, the tips and the information that I give you, it is not my theory. These are proven leadership principles, okay, from leading experts in the field of leadership. And so I come and I bring them to you so that you can be empowered to win, right? To win, to go, and be great at what you do. Because it's not about just leading, it's about effective leading. I want you to be effective. Pastors, senior pastors, I want you to be effective. Save the date, January 20th, Saturday, January 20th. If you're in youth leadership, you need to be at the Surge. You need to be at the Surge. Saturday, January 20th. Mark your calendars. Save the date. I want to see you there. We're going to be at St. Albans Assembly. It's 200-25 Linden Boulevard. Y'all don't want to miss this. We got a segment called The Conversation. It's going to get crazy. If you're in youth leadership, you need to be there, okay? So make sure that you are. That's Saturday, January 20th. Don't forget the mixer. It's Saturday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. We're at JD Restaurants, 420 7th Avenue. It's Thai food. It's free to come in. It's for ministry workers. If you serve in ministry, from senior pastors down, if you serve in ministry, you want to be there so that we can have some fun, meet some new people, and enjoy some amazing food. More information, you go to my Facebook page. Everything is there. You can go to eventbrite.com and you can buy the ticket if you want to buy your food early, or you can pay when you get there. It's $10, okay, just for dinner that night. But I'm excited. It's free to come in. If you don't want to eat with us, that's fine. You can still have fun with us. I want to see you there, okay? So take your little Christmas shopping. Y'all do that in the morning. And then you come on over that evening and you have some fun with us. We're excited. We want to toast it up to a year of leadership well done. We've done our best. We've given it our all, and it's time to celebrate. So meet us on Saturday, December 2nd at the Ministry Workers Mixer. Okay. I think I've said enough. I don't see any questions. My Facebook Live is sometimes delayed, so if we get off and you ask that question, I will answer it in the comments. But if you are well, I am well, and as you win, I win, and we'll see each other on next Tuesday at 2.